Okay, so we're now moving on to example 11. And this is one of the reasons why we call them complex fractions. You can see here more clearly that we have fractions within fractions, and we just change it a little bit. So remember, we're dealing with a fraction, and we can multiply any fraction by a value of 1 and keep the equivalent version of that fraction. So the best way to take a look at this is first just take a look at your denominators, and we're going to look for the least common multiple of the four denominators. So we have 1x squared. So the least common multiple of the four denominators there is going to be x squared, right? Least common multiple of all the denominators, right? So those little denominators, and that's going to be x squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 1, but in the form of x squared over x squared. So I'm multiplying x squared to the numerator of the complex fraction and the denominator. That's going to require me to group both the original numerator and denominator, because I'm going to have to distribute x squared to both of these, right? All right, and then when we're doing this here, what's going to happen is we're still going to have a fraction, but we're going to clear all the denominators, those little denominators, from both original numerator and denominator. So when I do this, I'm now going to have 12x squared, and then the x squared multiplied to 6 over x, I'm going to simplify by a factor of x here, so that's going to be plus 6x over, and then in the denominator it's going to become 12x squared, and then minus 3 when this x squared simplifies with the factor of x squared from the multiplication. Always check to see if you can factor again, right? So I'm taking a look at my numerator, and in my numerator I see a common factor of 6x. So I'm going to factor out 6x. And what I have left is 2x plus 3. And then my denominator, I can see I have a factor of 3. So I'm going to factor out 3, and I'm going to have 4x squared minus 1 here, okay? Now I'm looking at this and noticing that I can simplify by a factor of 2 from my 6 and my 3 here, right? And I'm also noticing that my denominator, 4x squared minus 1, is also a difference of squares. So now I have numerator is 2 times x times 2x plus 3 divided by 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. I have no more common factors in numerator and denominator, so at this point I can be comfortable leaving this as a completely factored expression and simplified.